Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and I'm so glad to see all of you from all over the USA and all over the world joining us tonight. If my shirt is all like jittery, I forgot that these kinds of lines probably aren't the best thing to wear on television or on internet TV. So I'm sorry for that. If it's distracting, let me know. I've got a jacket that I can...
it's mesmerizing.
Is it mesmerizing? I'm just going to back up a little bit. There we go. Okay, we had it kind of close up so that we could focus. Boy, we had a horrific last 15 minutes. We couldn't get my monitor to turn on, and I depend so much on my monitor so I know where I am on the screen, and also to be able to see your comments. So at the last minute, 55 seconds before the live started, Tom figured it out. So he's my hero. So thank you, Tom.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to see all of you. I hope you all had a great weekend. It is Monday, and it is one of the more Monday-ish Mondays today, I think. It's a little bit crazy. Hope you guys are getting a break from the heat, though I know some of you right now are in some extreme heat. We want you to know we're praying for you and we're rooting for you that some cool weather comes your way really soon. All right, so tonight I was thinking, what could I do using the brand new kit that would be kind of fun and peaceful? I'm in the mood for something peaceful tonight. So I thought it would be fun to do a card that is definitely an ocean scene, but at least for one of the cards, you really don't have to create the look of water. And I wanted to show you a fun way that you can create the look of clouds and having some sun. And so I was playing with a couple of things, and I think you're going to like tonight's card. It's very easy to do. And remember, it was just a couple of videos ago where I showed you how to do the sunshine without the stencil if you don't have it. Of course, it's easier with the stencil and it's a lot more fun, but you definitely can do this card even if you don't have a sunshine stencil. You can do it with the other technique that I showed you the other night. So I see a lot of you guys coming in. It's great to see all of you. Just giving everybody a chance to get here because I know everybody's phone goes off right at the same time. And hopefully our internet will cooperate. I'm trying not to even mention it because I don't want to scare it. Oh, I'm sorry you guys are in the mugginess. Hopefully you can get a little bit of air conditioning on here and there. All right, so let's go to the overhead and I'll show you the stamp sets that I'm going to use tonight. So I'm definitely going to use the new Time to Coast stamp set. And this stamp set, if you're not familiar with it, is from our brand new Time to Coast card kit. I'm going to be using this one tonight. And for my first card, I'm going to use this image of the seagulls. And if we have time to do a second card, then I'll use the lighthouse. Then for greetings, I thought I would use some of the greetings from this cute little incentive set. For those of you that are new to Gina K Designs, every time you spend $75 or more in our store, you get an incentive stamp set. And this month, we're giving away this cute little one. I think it's called Painted Blossoms, I think. And I just love this stamp set because it's perfect for window cards and all kinds of silhouette stamping. But I love these greetings. And they were designed to work with these two dies from Master Layouts 5. So I have a couple of those cut out here so you can see what I mean. This fits either this way, or of course you can turn it this way. It'll work like that. This will work like that. And this one as well. So you can use this and it fits really nicely on there. Also, Hello Friend fits nicely on there. And you know, sometimes it's cool to even have your greeting going sideways down the side of the card with a little flag. So you don't always have to have them horizontal. All right, so those are the two stamp sets I'm going to use tonight. Now I'm going to get my ink stand holders, my ink pad stands. And you know what? See the sides of these? They're magnetic, so they will kind of click together and stick onto your surface, which is kind of nice. I'm going to be using several different colors tonight. So let me get a piece of cardstock here. I'm not going to need these just yet for my, well, I'll need one for my first part of this technique. So one thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock And I'm going to tear this cardstock kind of like just very jagged and not straight across. I want to do some, you know, dips and valleys and peaks. I got to lock up. Okay, hopefully I'm back. So if that happens, we actually are getting fiber optic cable installed, but they're like 3 or 4 weeks out. So we got to deal with some of this for a little while, but hopefully you guys are all back now. So you can see what I did here. I just tore cardstock going down like that, and I did some peaks and some valleys. Yeah, and if that happens again, if the screen goes black, just hang in there. We'll just do exactly what we just did. All we have to do is go out of the live and come back in, so hang in there. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to create some clouds. Let me get my blending brushes. I've got my big stack of blending brushes there, and I want a small, let's see, I want one little brush for gray. Let's see, do I have a gray brush laying around? Sure I do. Here's a gray brush. It's got gray on it. Rub it off on this little excess piece so I don't have too much gray. Okay, so I'm going to use my gray blending brush, and the color that I want to use for this is soft stone. So I want this to be a very, very light look, not very bold, but I want to create the look of clouds. So let me zoom in here so you guys can see. Oh, my turntable. Somebody wants to know how I attach this turntable to the bottom of my blending brush stand. Well, where to get these is on our website. There's a little drop down at the top on the About Us. If you hover over the About Us, it will drop down and it says Things I Love. Click on there and you'll find the link to this. And the way I adhere that is I just use some of the Gina K Designs Terrific tape. It's double-sided tape, super strong, and I put a couple strips on it, and then I just sat it down right on top, and it works great. Okay, so now I'm going to start here at the top, and I'm just going to kind of angle my cut piece right on my cardstock. And I'm going to be trimming this down anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's perfect around the edges. And I want to ink this up with a little bit of soft stone ink. I'm getting it all over me again because it's not in my ink stand holder. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, I don't want this to be very dark. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to blend right on this torn piece and just let the bristles ever so slightly go over the edge. So mostly I am on the torn piece, but I'm getting a little bit of gray over the edge. Okay, you can see what that looks like. See? Okay, so now I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to add a little bit more gray. I'm not re-inking this time. I'm adding a little bit more gray to that. Okay, so you can see I'm making some gray clouds, almost like it's going to rain or it could rain. And the reason why I cut it on both sides is because I really want it, I don't want to keep doing this same pattern over and over again. So I want it to look a little bit different this time. Okay, so I'm going to do this. You can see I'm working with a real light hand, but you can see you get a lot of gray even when you do that. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to connect it right there a little bit. So this is so fun. Okay. So I'm going to go a little bit lighter now as I go down because I'm going to put some sunshine coming out of these clouds like it's sneaking through. So I'm really going light-handed now. And then I'm going to flip it over this way. But this is such a fun way to do a cloud background. You don't always need fancy tools. Sometimes you can make them yourself. And if it's not enough, you can go back over it like that. So you can see how nice, yes, this color is called Soft Stone. So it's one of our lighter grays. We have even a lighter gray called Whisper. And that's a really great gray for no line coloring. It's in our amalgam ink section. But I like this gray for this technique. Okay, I'm going to keep going real light now. The clouds are getting lighter. And that's pretty light. Maybe just a little darker than that. And I'm just going to go off down here. Now remember, I'm cutting this down, so even if I didn't do down here, it wouldn't really matter. But I'm doing it anyway, just in case a little nip of the cardstock shows up. Might as well do it while I'm here. Okay. And then you can take your brush and just kind of finish off the bottom, just in case any of that shows. All right. So you can see what my clouds look like. Isn't that fun? It's so easy. So once again, I use Soft Stone ink, my gray blending brush, and I just tore this paper. You know, once you tear a piece of paper like this, you can save it and use it over and over again. And I'm going to do that in case we have time to get to the second card tonight. Now, I want to make these, I want to make some sunshine coming out of the bottom of these clouds, almost peeking out of the clouds a little bit. So let me get my sunshine stencil. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to put it right about here, like this. But I'm only going to, let's see, I think I might be able to take some purple tape and do this just to kind of block some of this off. Okay, so you figure out where you want it on your cardstock. And again, I want it to be a little lower in the sky. And then I'm going to take this piece of purple tape. I'm just going to tape this like right here. Okay, just so I don't go over that. It'll help me. If I need to add a little bit of color up there, I will. But I'm going to focus most of my color down here toward the bottom. So let me find an ink pad I want to use. I think the color I want to use is some Wild Dandelion first. So I have my yellow blending brush. Okay, I don't want to hit the wrong remote control and shut the whole thing down. that could happen tonight. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just work the sun. And basically, it's going to kind of appear as though the sun is just kind of creeping out of the clouds a little bit. Okay, so just a little bit of yellow, not too much. And I'm going to focus mostly down toward the bottom here. And then I'm going to work out the rays a little bit. See, I'm not going all the way up there heavy so that there's not a big line. I'm just letting the bristles kind of tickle those rays a little bit, and I'm working more toward the bottom. This kind of brings to mind, like, you know, even though there's storms, those rays of sunshine creep through. I love that look. I had a completely different plan of what I was going to do tonight, and it didn't work out. Does that ever happen to you when you're crafting? You have this great idea, and for some reason, you just can't get your hands to do what you want to do. So I'll practice some of that. I was going to try to kind of create more of a golden sunset. So that's something I need to work on. So I can use honey mustard here, but I think I'm going to use sweet mango instead. So I have sweet mango here. See, you're my people. You get me. That's the best thing about you guys, is that you get me. I love that. And I get you. So we're good friends. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of that orange in here. Again, this is sweet mango. If you don't have sweet mango, you could use our tangerine twist. And you can also, if you want it to be a little bit more subtle, you can use something like honey mustard. This is going to add quite a bit of orange glow in here. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Okay. You know, it's funny because it never seems like it looks like much. And then now I'm going to take my brush and I want to just soften that line there a little bit. Okay, let's see what that looks like. There we go. Okay, so the sun's kind of creeping down in the clouds, and now I'm going to go back with my orange brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of orange to make the whole thing glow a little bit more. Because sometimes clouds will like glow in the sun. Okay, so that's kind of a cool look, right? Coming out of the clouds. Okay. So now my next step for this card, I love when Tom plays too. It is super relaxing. I agree. Brings me a lot of peace, especially when 50 seconds before the live, I was going, ah! Because we couldn't get things to work. Tom was making that same sound. All right, I'm going to clean this stencil with my tidy towel, and then I'm going to just grab a paper towel under here and dry it. Okay, there we go. All righty. So now let's do the next step here. So I'm going to take my Misti. I want to do this with the Misti. And luckily, I have my corner already in here. So if you guys don't know what the Misti Corners are, the Misti Corners are really nice because they allow you to pull your cardstock away from the corner. For example, in this case, if I want to put my stamp here, I can't because it's going off the edge, you know what I'm saying? So if I want to do that same look, I can put this corner in and it pulls the cardstock away from the edge so I can stamp and overlap the side of my my stamp. So this is one of those times where you're going to create an ocean look, but there's no ocean. So we're actually just going to get the ocean theme from the birds, from the seagulls. And I'm going to, you know, push that up a little bit because I'm going to cut this out with dies. And so that's going to be totally fine. I'm going to put them off the side a little bit. And then I'm going to stamp these guys in black ink. Okay. So I have the Gina K Designs Black Onyx dye ink. I'm going to use the dye ink because I want it to dry fast because I'm going to use Copic markers. Now the amalgam ink is also great to use. It dries just a hair more slowly. And I usually use that if I'm going to add some watercolor into the mix because you can't watercolor with the dye ink since it's a water-based ink. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to clean this up, and if you've ever tried to clean this up off your Misti and it leaves that purple haze, just get the Gina K Designs stamp cleaner. If you put a little bit of the Gina K Designs stamp cleaner on it and a paper towel, it will totally get all of that off like super fast. And it's also great to clean the door of your Misti. You can clean your acrylic blocks with it. It really, really cleans everything up super nice. And we just got that back in stock finally after like a million years. I don't know where it was during COVID, but I mean, I know we still have COVID, but you know how everything's slowed down for such a long time. So I'm going to put this stamp away. And put my Misti away for now. Okay. So now I'm going to do just a little bit of coloring. I have a couple Copic markers here. This one is E25. It's called Caribe Cocoa. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. C-A-R-I-B-E, E25. But you can use any brown. And you can use anything you want. You don't have to use Copics. You can use colored pencils or water-based markers, whatever you want. Okay, and I'm just going to just color these in. No special shading. We're clean and simple stamping, so we're not going to worry about all of that. Now I'll give you guys a little heads up. On Thursday, I think I'm going to do a Christmas card. Because isn't Thursday July 1st, Tom? Somebody tell me.
I have to check that.
Okay. And then I'm going to go in with a darker marker here. I'm going to use, it's July 1st? Yeah. So I want to do a Christmas in July card on Thursday. And I think we're going to put some Christmas stamps on sale for 4th of July weekend as like a Christmas in July celebration. So what I'm doing here is I'm just adding a little bit of gray to it just to make the wood look a little more aged. And then I'm going to use a light gray. This is N3, neutral gray 3, and I'm just going to color my birds. And I know that they have rays of sunshine going in them, but the gray just kind of softens that a little bit so you don't really see the sunshine. And if you've ever been to the Jersey Shore, you will see gray seagulls. Some of them are gray. Most of them have a lot of white in them, but there are some that are gray. So these little guys are gray. And then I think I'll add just a little bit of that N5, the neutral gray. That's the one I used down here on the wood. And I'll just kind of color their bellies a little bit. Okay. There we go. I went outside the lines on that one. But, you know, we'll be fine. Okay. The darker gray was N5. These are the neutrals, N3 and N5. With Copic markers, they have cool, warm, the C's, the W's, and the N's, the neutrals. So if you can only get a couple, the N's are good because they're not too brown and they're not too blue. So that's a good one to start with if you only want a couple. And you really only need a couple. You don't need every Copic marker. I got into the full set syndrome where you have to have everything. And honestly, you don't. So I'd rather have more stamps personally and just a few colored pencils and markers because you can do a lot, especially with colored pencils. You can do a lot with Gamsol to get the look of many different colors using just one pencil because when you're blending it out, it gets lighter and darker in certain areas. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this out and I want to cut this line off because this is my water line down here, this black line. So I want to cut that out. And you can cut it so the sun is a little bit staggered or you can cut it so it's a little more in the center. In my case, it's going to be just a little off center, but that's okay. And I'm going to cut that out. I'm using the Master Layouts 2 die set for this. And the reason I chose that one is because that one has the little stitched line going around it. And I also want to layer it in black. So I'm using that set, the little stitched line. Oh no, did you see what I did? I had a dirty plate. Look at that. Words transferred. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we're going to go with it. We're going to go with it. Actually, luckily, I tested this out. But before we go any further, I'm going to clean my plate with my tidy towel so that doesn't happen again. Okay. All right. Don't worry. I'm not nervous because I have a backup plan. Luckily, I have a backup plan. Woo! But at least you got to see how I did this, and I think that's what's important. Now, before we go on, let me move this out of the way. And what I'm going to do next is, and don't look at this because I've got the backup here. I'm going to take a little flag here of where I would like to put my greeting. So I'd like to put my greeting somewhere like here. And then what I would do next, what I'm going to do next is take this little seagull stamp, and I'm going to use some black onyx. And then I'm going to stamp it the reason why I put the flag here is because I don't want to stamp and then put the flag down and, you know, the flag is blocking the whole thing. So figure out where you want your greeting, and then you can stamp your seagulls in there so that they're kind of coming in. All right. So with that being said, let me get rid of this. Ta-da! Here's the test one that I did earlier. So it's a little bit lighter than the one that I just did now, but you can see what I did here, okay? Oh, it's okay. Don't be sad. You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're a stamper, you have to enjoy the process. And part of the process is making mistakes and learning and figure things out. And this is like what, 5 cents, 10 cents worth of paper? Puh, that was a great practice run for me. I was able to practice my clouds, practice my sunshine, and I could just throw this right in the trash, not worry about it, not stress about it, and I can make another one. Bam. So I made this earlier today because I wanted to test to see if these clouds looked good enough. And, you know, it's all good. So I appreciate you guys feeling for me. I love that you feel for me, but it's okay. It's all good. So now I cut a black panel using the second die here that goes along with the master layouts too. So I can layer these together. Yep, you definitely could cover the smudges with a sentiment and a flag. Absolutely. They were some pretty bad smudges though. They were everywhere. Yes, Selena, I could have used the back of it for sure. And I could have just done it again. But I want to try to get a second card in for you guys tonight, especially because I'm giving the cards away now, and I like to have 2. So I'd like to do 1 second card, especially doing the cloud technique, because I think that's a fun technique. Okay, so now I've stamped that on there. I could have used slim sentiments, yes, and a big word die. Oh, there's a lot of things I could do for sure, but we're going to not worry about it. All right, so I have a piece of cardstock here. This is the cardstock color that comes in the kit, the Ocean Mist. And even though we don't have any blue in this card, I think by using a blue card base, that implies more ocean, right? So you can feel the ocean kind of all around, right? So I'm going to use Ocean Mist, and I'm going to tape this onto my Ocean Mist card base. And now I'll show you the flag that I cut. And then on the second card, we're actually going to cut a flag. So I used the flag die from Master Layouts 5, and I used the stamp set, the Painted Blossoms incentive set, and I made a little hello friend. And that is going to go right up here. And I'm lining that up. And if you look really close, let's zoom in and see how close we can get here. Let's see. All right. So if you look really closely right here, let me get my stick tool, my Tim Holtz craft pick. You can see these stitches line up perfectly with these stitches when you take it to the end, because all of our dies have that stitch to edge ratio is the same. So it feels very cohesive when you put that right up against the edge. So again, I cut this out using Ocean Mist and stamped it in black onyx. And I'm going to adhere that right here. There we go. Well, I might move that up a little bit before I press it down. There we go. Okay. We're all good. It's all good. I think I want those tails to go down a little bit, so I'm going to just get under there with the tape. That one's pretty good. So there is a quick and easy card. And I don't know, the whole thing, the flag, like the flag almost feels like, for those of you who are on the East Coast, maybe they do this on the West Coast too. You can tell me if you're out West. But I remember being a little girl and being at the Jersey Shore. We went to Wildwood every summer. They do it in Atlantic City too. When you're on the beach, You're looking out at the water. There's beautiful sunshine, all the puffy clouds in the sky, and these planes fly by, and they've got a flag on the back of them promoting a restaurant or a nightclub or something. And so this flag just felt very oceany to me, because that's what I remember from being a little girl and seeing the planes going across the coast while I was playing on the beach. All right, so there's my first card. And super quick and easy, right? All right, so let's make another card now. I think we're doing pretty good. Oh yeah, we're only at the halfway mark. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm going to use this same cloud piece that I used from before. Boy, am I going to wipe my die cutting machine down again. I'm still not going to trust it. And I'm going to create a few clouds in the sky here. Once again, using that gray brush, and I'm going to use that same gray ink color, the soft stone. Okay. I have these moments too where, like, I don't know, where everything goes wrong, right? You try one thing, it doesn't look good. You try something else, it doesn't look good. You try something else, it looks great, and then you drop your ink pad on it. Can you relate? So we all have those days, but in the big picture, a hobby is something that you do. It's not, you know, it's not always about the finished project. It's about the process and just sitting down and having fun and getting inky. So, you know, when those little mistakes happen, try not to get too frustrated. All right, so there's the first part of my cloud. And now I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to add a little bit more here. This one's going to be a much better result. Now I'm going to flip it over this way so I have something a little bit different. And you can see I'm kind of angling back and forth with that cardstock so that everything isn't straight across. But if you wanted to do one straight across, you certainly could. But I like that little bit of an angle. It definitely makes it look a little bit more realistic. And remember, most of that ink is, this is becoming so pretty. Most of that ink is going on the little, I guess it's like almost like a little stencil that I made. Okay. And now we'll add, let's go over here like this. We'll do a big puffy thing right here. There we go. The name of the blue paper that I used is Ocean Mist. And that is actually in the kit. So if you did get the kit, you're going to get a couple pieces of that to try. So this cloud thing, super easy to do. You can just use it over and over again. It will dry, you know, it gets a little wet if you're doing a million of them, but it will definitely dry. Okay, so now maybe I'll do one going straight across here. See how that looks. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do a super light one because I'm going to do some water. Okay. So that's very light. You almost can't see that. I can't see it at all. So let me do a little bit more. Okay. I can see it enough. All right. So we'll take a look at that up close. I agree, Linda. It is good for a sympathy card. This whole style is good for a sympathy card. And there is a with sympathy greeting in this set, which I love the script because it's not too masculine, not too feminine, very neutral, you know, however you want to use it. And you could also use the circle die to cut that out and add, you know, maybe a flower or something around it. So that's a nice sympathy greeting in there. It just fits well with this theme. Okay, so now we're going to create a little bit of ocean. So let's get some purple tape and we'll make a horizon. It's always good to make a horizon. And I'm going to cover up a little bit of that bottom cloud there. And that's why I wanted it to be light, because I really didn't want you to see it too much in the water. But I wanted the clouds to go past the horizon, if that makes sense. And we're going to put this like right in the center down here. That'll work. Actually, let me move this up just a little bit. I'm going to move it up to about here. I think I want a little bit more water. Okay. So for my water, you know, I tend to think in terms of light and get darker as I go. But the clouds in blue would be really nice. If you want a more happy sky, you could use sea glass or ocean mist. Definitely the clouds in blue. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to go dark along the horizon, and I want to get a little bit lighter as I go down. This is called purple tape, this tape. This is by ThermoWeb. We do carry it in our store. And it's a good tape. I really like it. It's great because it never tears the paper. And you just have to really kind of press on the sides to keep it down. Oh, I'm sorry it's freezing. I don't think it's freezing here on our end. We can see pretty well, and things look pretty good on my iPhone here too as well. So that could be maybe your neighborhood's getting a little crowded, everybody getting home and getting online. So I'm going to start with our darkest teal, and that is our Tranquil Teal. So I'm going to start very close to the horizon here with Tranquil Teal. Okay. And I'm going to work mostly on the purple tape. Yeah, that's the other thing. If you're on Facebook and you're having trouble, you can always try jumping over to YouTube and seeing if that's any better. Okay. Here we go. And now I'm working my way down, and I'm getting a little bit more light-handed as I go. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to rub off that Tranquil Teal, and I'm going to go to a lighter color. So I think I'm going to go to Turquoise Sea, which is a lighter color than Tranquil Teal. Oh no, there's a dad joke. What's the joke, Tom? Tell us. Because I can't.
Mary Beth said, "What do they call a chicken that counts her eggs? A chicken."
Dad jokes. So if you don't know what we're talking about, Tom did the Dad's Challenge over on my friend Corin Wiskman's YouTube channel. She did it with Daniel and Micah from Pear Blossom Press, and Tim, Corin's husband, and all four dads were making cards, and it was really cute. They made light up cards. I'll show you Tom's card right at the end of this video so you can see, and you can go over and still watch it. And Amanda from Pear Blossom Press sent us all a book of dad jokes, and the dads were all sharing jokes, and everybody was sharing jokes. It was very fun. Okay, so I added some of that. Now I'm going to do something a little crazy, a little goofy. I'm going to take a little bit of Stormy Sky, and I'm just going to swipe it across my ocean here, okay? Just to give it a little bit of a darker shade. Remember, we're going to cut this out, and now I'm going to add some Stormy Sky into this water. Okay. Now I'm going to take this off, and I've got a nice horizon there. And when this gets all cut out, that won't look so much like wood grain. It'll just look like there's kind of more going on. Okay, so now I'm going to get another piece of purple tape. I know I'm using a lot of purple tape. And I'm going to put that, let me move up here. Actually, I'm going to flip this over because I don't want to work on the wet cardstock on the side. And I'm going to place this right on my horizon line and press down on the sides here. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my stencil here. And you can put this wherever you want. So this time we'll kind of come from the bottom and we'll just fan up a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, if you want, and you're worried about it moving, you can always take a little bit of washi tape and you can just put this stencil down so it doesn't move like that if you're concerned. Otherwise, you can just use your hand and hold on to it. That is the more riskier approach. All right, so now I'm going to use some Wild Dandelion ink again with my yellow brush. And I'm going to kind of go around the perimeter and leave it a little bit lighter, more in the center. And then I'm going to work my way out real lightly, just kind of going back and forth along the lines. Not going up to the edge because we don't want to see it like cut off there. Although remember, I still have to cut this out. Okay. Now we're going to add a little bit, let's get in there a little bit more, especially down here at the horizon. Now I'm going to add a little bit of the orange ink, and I'm going to go back to the tangerine, not the tangerine, the sweet mango again. And if you guys are watching on Facebook, welcome to everybody on Facebook. Well, welcome to our new Twitch friends. We have friends watching us on Twitch now. And a big welcome to, of course, our YouTube friends. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'd love it if you give this video a thumbs up. That really does help my channel. Also, if you want to subscribe or hit the notification bell, you'll get a notification whenever a live video goes or whenever I post something else on my story. You'll get some notifications that way. Okay. So there we go. You can also give it a thumbs down, but I will cry later, I promise. All right. Let's take this off and see how it's looking. I'm a little nervous. Ooh, I love it. I love it. There we go. Okay. So now we have the sun coming up. Looking good. So our next release is scheduled right now for July 19th. And again, this weekend, we're going to have a little Christmas in July sale. So, but that's going to be all about Christmas. So if you're looking for a new Christmas stamp set, that will be a fun thing. Okay, so this is going to go right in the center. And on Thursday, I'm going to do a Christmas card. It's going to be Christmas in July here on the Gina K Designs show, the Tom and Gina show. Okay, so I'm going to put this. You could put it right in the middle. You could have it off center a little bit. Let's see how that would look. And if you ever want to see how something's going to look, just use your index sheet. So I could put it off center a little bit. I think that would be really pretty, don't you guys? As opposed to like right in the center, kind of coming in from the side a little bit. Let's do that. Okay. That's what's great about that index sheet. You can just test it beforehand. All right. I think that looks good. I want to make sure that that's straight too. So the way I'm going to make sure it's straight is I'm going to stamp it on this piece of acetate first to see where it lands and see if the lighthouse looks straight.
So Karen wants to know, can you let them know before the live what stamp set you will be using? That's kind of funny, because do you even know? I
don't. That's what's terrible is I never know. Okay, so that looks pretty good, right? Pretty straight? I think so. Okay. You know, I would do that, but I figured out what stamp set I was going to use. I knew I was going to do something with the ocean set. So I did say in the description that we were going to use the new kit, but I didn't know exactly which stamp set from the new kit I was going to use or which stamp. I'm kind of a last minute person. I know you guys can't believe that, right? I'm kind of a last minute person. I like to do these more off the cuff and kind of go through it with you guys. Although I had to test my clouds. So luckily I had that backup. Okay. Ooh, yeah. That's pretty, huh? I like that. Okay. So now Let me clean this. I don't want to make too much of a mess. And I'm going to color in those rocks with that dark gray. So let's get that dark gray marker back again. That's N5. I'm going to color those, get some dark gray in there. That just changes that whole look. There we go. I love this stamp. And then I think I'm going to use the lighter gray, which is the N3, to color in the lighthouse. And I know you still see the sun in there, but it just makes it a little bit more solid. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So now let's cut this out, but let's figure out where we want our greeting first. I think the greeting could go anywhere, honestly. I think it could come down from this side and it could say love you. I think I'm going to go with that. Now, of course, again, this would make a really nice sympathy card. So we could stamp with sympathy right on there if we wanted to. All right, here we go. I'm taking a shot here. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to take a shot. I'm going to cut something else out first. Just something on a piece of cardstock to make sure I got all that ink off. I think I did. Let me rub it on my black stretch pants here. There we go. Okay. I think I got it. So let's cut out a little flag. See, I got some ink there. We'll cut out a little flag here. And this way we can test it to make sure that we didn't get ink on anything. I don't want to ruin my card. Your card. I'm giving this to somebody out there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And I don't see any ink on here, so I think we're good. All right, so now let's take this and we're going to cut it nice and straight. Where do we want this flag? Do we want this to come from the top again? I think so. Yeah. This is going to be very oceany. Could stagger it a little bit more even. Let's make the sun more in the middle since it's already staggered. See, I really don't know what I'm doing. That looks pretty straight, right? Okay. Here we go. Oof. Okay, there we go. I had to make that sound. That's the only way I can get it to go through. There we go. So now that's all cut out, and that looks really, really nice cut. It's just finished off the edges, you know. And then we'll get another piece of black cardstock. I look like I am frozen on the screen on my, oh no, it's back. Okay. I know we have a little freezing now and then. I'm sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this. Turn it just a hair. And I'm going to cut this black background piece. And then we're going to see if the Ocean Mist works with this, because I used a lot of Turquoise Sea and Tranquil Teal. So we want to make sure that, that this is all going to work the way I want it to work. So let's take a look. So I have an Ocean Mist panel. So do you guys like that? Or do you think I should go more turquoise? Is that blue not quite the right blue? That's what that would look like in Ocean Mist. Now, I like it, but I do have to say that I feel like Turquoise Sea matches the turquoise in the card a little bit better. Get that out of the way. But I don't know. What do you think? You don't like this? Try yellow. Ooh, yellow would be nice. What else could we try? You think the ocean mist looks great, huh? A darker blue. A darker, ooh, like maybe like Tranquil Teal. Let's see. Here's Tranquil Teal up against it. I don't have one of those, but here's Tranquil Teal. Is it too dark? That might be too dark because I won't be able to. Ooh, I love it. I love that idea. I love that idea, Donna. Gray. I think you're right. I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised when we see gray against this. In fact, I think even Stormy Sky. Oh, I've got silver here. That's not what I want. Stormy Sky. Let me see if I can find Stormy Sky. Okay. Stormy Sky. What do you guys think? Stormy Sky. So we'll do Stormy Sky and see how that looks. I feel like that is really, really pretty. The gray, just because then that makes that yellow sun really stand out. We can also look at the lighter gray, which is, where is it? Here it is. Soft stone. We can look at soft stone. That's what the clouds are. This is soft stone. Soft stone. Okay, light gray or dark gray? This gray has just a hint of, yeah, I think this is it. Do you like the light gray? Because I think the light gray really just sets off the clouds. The dark gray is nice, but that light gray. All right, we're going to go with the light gray. I'm sorry if I disappointed anybody who said dark gray or yellow or blue or all the other colors. But we're going to try it this way. All right, I'm getting my big paper cutter out here. Let me zoom out a little bit because I feel like you're like looking up someone's nose when you're that close. You can't see anything. Okay, so we're going to take this down to 4 inches, 4 1/4 inches, pardon me. And I'm going to cut this one in half at 5 1/2 inches. So these are quarter sheets. All right. Now I need to score this piece. It does have a little bit of a purpley hue compared to the other gray, which is very dark. But when you see it all by itself, then I think I've got like more of a greenish gray here, which makes this look a little more purpley gray. Plus, I can't tell what's happening on the screen. What do you guys think of that? Do you like that? I like that. Sometimes like a color that's just out of the blue like that really does look nice. Okay. We can try it. I see a lot of your comments want to see the dark gray. Maybe I'll change my mind if I see the dark gray. Let me just cut it real quick because you never know. We got the time, so we might as well do it. Get rid of this paper cutter. Okay. All righty. We'll look just to make everybody happy. The dark gray was nice, but the light gray is better. Okay. I'm sticking with you all here. All right. I feel like you need to see this with white behind it so you can actually see it. There we go. Okay, so what do you think? You think the light gray clashes with the water? Okay, all right. All right, we'll do one more here. Here's the light gray. Now this is all out of plum, and that's going to make somebody say, no, I don't like it. I don't know. I kind of like the light gray better too. I know a lot of you are saying light gray. All right, I'll stick with that. And then if any of you guys make this card and you use a darker gray, I hope you'll post it in our Facebook group so I can ooh and ah over it. All right, so I'm going to adhere. It doesn't have any tape left in it. Tom, you used all my tape in the Dad's Challenge. What were you taping? still there? I think he's still there. He's over there. You're over there, right, Tom?
Yeah, I used up a lot of supplies in that challenge.
It was fun, though. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, thanks to all the supporters through that.
Oh, no.
And
I just ran out of tape again. Well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to show you how easy it is to put tape into our tape runner. So when you run out of tape, all you do is there's a little button here that says push. Push that and it opens. You take the cartridge out and you throw that away. And then the refills come in a 2-pack. You just pop that in and you snap it shut and it's ready to go. So it is super easy tape to put together. I've had some tape runners where you honestly needed to have an engineering degree in order to figure out how to get the cartridges installed. It was very nerve-wracking. This is pretty easy. Okay, so now we're going to have to cut a little flag here to pull it all together. I think the flag is going to be the thing that pulls it all together. So you know what? Let's stamp it first. I'm going to use black ink, and I'm going to use the Love You.
Karen wants to know if Tim still has ink on his arm. It's probably a good bet that he does. Right?
I would think it's going to take him a while to get that ink off of his arms. Corin's husband, I don't know how he did it, but it honestly looked like he took the black ink pad and just did wood graining down both arms. It was hysterical. He doesn't know how he did it, and it was quite the mess. Very funny. Ooh, look at that. So crisp. Don't you love a crisp stamp? Isn't it funny how, like, what we get excited about, but hey, it's real. I mean, a crisp stamp, we all know how exciting that is. We're all the same here in this group. We're all the same. All right, so I'm going to cut this out. We're all the same, except some of us would have used the dark gray. I know. What did I do with the little die? Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Here we go. What did I do with it? Did anybody see it? If anybody sees it laying around, let me know. Tom, do you see it anywhere, my die?
I do not see the die.
Ugh. Worst thing in the world, to lose a die right when you're working. Okay, this is ridiculous. How do you lose things that are right in plain sight? Watch me lose my card.
You want me to come over there and help?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And can you put the front shot on so people can see how we're panicking? Because I can't find it anywhere. What if it's like in the die cutting machine? All right. We got to find it. Help me find it, Tom.
Hello, everybody. All right. So we're looking for a die here.
We're looking for the die.
All dies over here.
Oh, there it is.
See?
Aw, thank you, honey. Tom found it. Here it is. This is the die that I was looking for. All right, give me a second. My die cutting machine's on the floor. So I got to bring it back up here. Oh, my goodness. That was stressful.
This night was bound to be a mess.
It was, but we're making it through. And everybody's very supportive. And that's all that matters, is that they're out there and they are supportive. All right, here we go. Boom. This better be straight after all that. Tom saved the day. Yes, he did. He lifted up the right thing. Okay, I have black ink all over me now. See, I picked up that ink pad demonstrating Tim from the dad's challenge, and karma got me and made me just as inky as Tim. Okay. Now where'd my card go? Here it is. So same thing I'm going to do with this. Let's zoom in a bit so it doesn't look like you're up in a helicopter trying to see this card. Same thing again. I'm going to line up the stitching with the stitching up at the top of the card there like that. Oh, see, I like that. I think that's so cute. Just that little flag coming down. All righty. There we go. That is so cute. I need to tape the tails there. All right, so there is card number 2. I won't smear the card. I know it's got to go to somebody. I can't take the chance of smearing the card. So there's card number 2. And here is card number 1. There we go. 2 cards, clouds and sun. I really like the way you can use the sun too, how you can have it coming up like it's, you know, setting, and or you can have it coming down like it's just peeking through the clouds. Really, really fun ways to use both of those. Oh, and I promised I'd show you the card that Tom made on the Dad's Challenge. And so this is the card that he made, and the theme was cards that light up. So he made this card, and he wrote press here, right here. So I'm going to follow the directions. and ready? Look at that. The card lights up. Isn't that cute? That's so cute, Tom. You did such a good job. And I love how you kind of you did ink blending around there to make it glow. And I love how you put a little piece of yourself in there by putting press here. So cute. Very cute.
Great fun.
Awesome. All right, so Tom, now we have to pick winners. So we have a Seagull card and we have a Lighthouse card. So we've got to pick who's going to get these cards tonight from all the comments out there. So thank you guys all so much for all your lovely comments and being so supportive. We love you. Absolutely love you. So let me get a piece of paper and a pen. And Tom, you can tell us who the winners will be. If I can find a pen here. I think I have a pen. Okay. So who is going to win the Seagull card?
Seagull card goes to Renee Graham Wolford.
Oh my gosh. How do you spell that? Are you writing it down?
Yes.
Okay, good. Right. Woohoo, Renee, congratulations. You win the Seagull card.
All right.
The good Seagull card, not the one in the trash. The good one. All right. Now, Tom, who is going to win the Lighthouse card?
The Lighthouse card goes to Laurie Uthoff.
Woohoo, Laurie! Laurie's tonight's winner. Second winner. So for those 2 wonderful commenters, we thank you for your comments. And all you have to do is send your name and address to info@GinaKDesigns.com.
Wait a minute. Who gets the light bulb card?
Oh, we're going to give away the light bulb card
Let's
too?
give away the light bulb card.
All right. We're going to give away Tom's card. Somebody want to win Tom's card as the light up card?
Okay. The lucky winner of the Bear light bulb card reminds me of our first apartment.
Yes, it does.
It is Melissa Boyton.
Ooh, Melissa. Melissa, you get Tom's card, the light up card. Okay, and I just thought of something, Tom. I got to get more of these lights because I have to make a Lighthouse card that lights up.
Oh, yeah.
Won't that be cute? Okay, these are awesome. All right. Well, congratulations to all of our winners. Make sure that all you have to do is get your email and go to info@GinaKDesigns.com. That's where you want to email. info@GinaKDesigns.com. Tell them your name and address and let them know that you won the 6/28, that's today's date, 6/28 card, and which one you won, whether you won the Seagull, the Lighthouse, or Tom's Bear light bulb card. And then we'll also put the winners' names in the description under the video over on YouTube. So if you forget or you want to just double check or whatever, they're always going to be on the actual video over on YouTube. And these videos live on YouTube forever. So you'll always be able to find out who those winners were. So if you weren't sure, you missed a live, always go back and check to see if your name happens to be in there, because we had one card not claimed last week, Tom.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's over there. So check out the last video and see if you're a winner. All right, you guys. Well, this was super fun tonight. We had so much fun with you. We'll be back on Thursday for another lunchtime live, and I'm going to be doing Christmas in July to celebrate July 1st. And then we're going to have a little sale on our Christmas merchandise over the 4th of July weekend. So stay tuned for that. Our next big release with our next kit, I'm telling you, just whatever you do, put a little bit away for that release, because that release, it's one of my favorite. I can't even believe, you're not going to believe the kit. You're not going to believe all the fun stuff that's coming. So try to put a few pennies away for that one. That is going to be on July 19th. All right, you guys. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all so very much. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.